So as we're trying to figure out how to get Nisi unmuted, Nisi is like awesome. She's like super positive, and I love this Bernie stuff, right? It stresses me, it frustrates me. It's like the most god awful thing sometimes, but then it is the most wonderful, um, you know, conglomeration of like beautiful, strong, fabulous, phenomenal people who come from all walks of life and are really doing this great work to create, sustainable, meaningful change and opportunities for community, investment and advancement. And I'm just really excited. Nisi, are you there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yay, I can hear
Yay!
you.
We got it. Yay. Okay, cool. I had to switch from my laptop to my iPad. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Am I still there?
Yes, you're here.
Okay, cool beans.
Oh, there we go. Okay, good.
Hi.
Hey, hi. Hi.
Hi,
So
how are
introduce.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. I've been relegated to my garage because they're sick of hearing my politics stuff, so it's okay.
Well, can you please just introduce yourself and just tell the viewers just a little bit about how you kind of came to this grassroots Bernie work, kind of where you from and you
Well,
know.
my name is Denise Mosely, on Facebook as Denise Mosely, on Twitter as Denise7. I actually knew about Senator Sanders. I'm from North Charleston, South Carolina, just to give you a little bit of background. But I actually knew about Senator Sanders for probably well over 10 years. And I remember last year, I think he was on the Bill Maher show. That's where I saw him originally. And I remember my son coming into the room and saying, well, who's that guy? And I was like, he's the person who I wish would run for president. And a year later, he announced, and I was in. 100% in. What actually caught my attention was his stance on mass incarceration. He had actually been
Okay.
talking about that 10 years ago. Nobody else was brave enough to speak up about the mass incarceration epidemics. So when I saw that, it was like, okay, I'm going to kind of keep an ear out for him. And then saw him on like talking down Alan Greenspan on one of his videos. He's an
Yes.
amazing man. He's an amazing man. And what impresses me the most is that he never changes. He doesn't flip flop with the wind. He doesn't,
Hmm.
his stance is his stance, and you can trust that his stance is his stance. So when he announced, I was all in. And what actually got me into the grassroots was one Sunday morning, I was watching MSNBC. I've
Hmm.
learned better since then. But there was a gentleman on that was saying, well, yeah, Bernie Sanders is out there, but bottom line is he doesn't have any support in the Black community, so therefore he's probably not going to even get out of the gate. And I'm like, he's got a good point. So I went on Facebook, started trying to find whatever groups I could find that were Bernie Sanders related, and I found a group called People for Bernie, and I messaged them and I said, hey, listen, there is an issue. His message is not going to reach the Black community unless we start putting something out there. So with the
Right.
assistance of Jack Rabbit Pollock and Shauna East, they helped me put together the POC for Bernie, which is People of
Okay.
Color for Bernie. They helped me put the page together. And once they put it together for me, they were like, okay, you're off and running, it's yours. And it blew up.
Hmm.
And that's how I got the pleasure of meeting a lot of my new Facebook friends, like Stellar Hetherington, who's very, very, very active in the African American
Hi,
Bernie page.
Stella. We
Yeah,
love
hey
Stella.
Stella.
We love
But
Stella.
and she broke off from, well, not broke off because she was still helping with adminning the POC page, but
Hmm.
the POC page, for my vision of it, was exactly what it said: for people of color, whether we were
Right.
African American, Asian American,
Right.
Latin American. It was for all people of color, someplace for us to get together and talk about what we could do in our own communities to help get Bernie's message out.
Hmm.
Then, lo and behold, the campaign came to South Carolina, and they kind of plucked me out of the grassroots arena because I was still doing a lot online. I hadn't actually gotten out into my community and started talking to
Okay.
folks yet. So they kind of plucked me out of my comfort zone, which was just staying behind a computer, and put me out there.
Mhm.
And from that day on, I was a community organizer for the Bernie Sanders campaign in South Carolina, knocking on doors, talking to people face to face, learning a lot, to say the very least. And then, of course, February 27th came and left, and now I'm back to the grassroots side. And I must
Okay.
say, I love the grassroots side. Lord, how I missed it. So glad to be back on the grassroots side. Definitely, February 27th was a bit of a shocker and a letdown for us because we worked really hard. I think I had actually gotten started ever since September. And we
Okay.
had been hard charging from September up until February 27th. Literally on February 27th, I was on the side of the road with a Bernie sign,
Right.
asking folks to please come and vote. Um, but once that was done, and I said, okay, I'll go back to the grassroots side, but I will admit it was hard work. Working for the campaign was extremely hard work, frustrating a lot of times. I'm going to say probably about 80% of the time it was extremely frustrating. And I'm just happy to be back to the grassroots side so I can do things the way I think they need to be done so that we can still get them elected. So we're still alive in Charleston. We're still alive in South Carolina. So definitely don't think that because the primary is come and gone, we've
Mhm.
stopped. There's no stopping us until we're at that inauguration, shaking hands with all our
That's
new
right.
friends face to face. So we're in here.